Good evening. Welcome back once again to the Cheltenham Exchange. And we're on our preview meetings for the international meeting at Cheltenham this weekend that we're hoping and praying goes ahead because of this very cold weather. Our man on the spot, Alex, reckons it's about -2, -3 at the moment, but he's got a lot of confidence in the frost covers. So we're hopeful. And he was right about he was right about the cross country getting cancelled. He was right straight away about that one. So yeah, we're very hopeful. Very hopeful that the meeting goes ahead.
Well, they said if racing was going to be today, it would have gone ahead. I mean, temperatures aren't going to drop. They've got the covers on. And if it's as sunny tomorrow as it was today, I think it'll be okay.
Good man, Alex. That's what we like to hear. Positivity. On that note, positivity. Look who's back. The Rain Man's back. He's fit and well. Welcome back, Ian. We missed you.
Thank you. More steroid up. If I send him in sometimes, then it's because I had a chest infection. So I apologise if I sound like Darth Vader.
We'll let you off.
Cold.
We'll let you off. So yeah, we've got Ian back, but we're missing Matty
again. Working
on a train.
Wanking. What he was doing.
And so yeah, I promised myself that I wasn't going to mither on, having watched back what we did yesterday, or my mithering on. So we'll get straight into the action. Apart from the fact that I do want a little mither, I must just check that some of you may have spotted when I was talking about a mare's race yesterday, and then I referred to the horse as a he. It was just a little tester to see if Wayne was watching. Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Hi, Wayne.
Right, anyway, enough of that rubbish.
We're
straight
all
on. So we'll get straight into Saturday's racing. We've picked out 5 races that we're going to have a look at, and then we may mention the other 2 with an honourable mention if we deem it worthy, and we've got enough time. So first race, 12:05 Triumph Hurdle Trial, 2 miles 1 furlong. There's a horse in here that we know somebody's a bit keen on, and it's come from one of our followers. So, Mr. Galpin, do you want to kick us off?
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's quite a difficult race to look at right now because a lot of these horses are also entered in a race at Doncaster on the same day. So I'm not really sure what's going to run, what's not. But, I mean, if he runs, my selection will be Nusret. He ran at Punchestown last month. He was very impressive on debut. It was quite a slowly run race, and the turn of foot he showed after jumping the last, I thought was really impressive. So impressive that I put him up for the Triumph in our last Ante-Post video. I think he's got really high ability, and I think he'll go well. But he may not run because he's also entered Doncaster, and I think Scriptwriter's also entered Doncaster, who's the second favourite, and I think the fourth favourite's also entered in that same race as well. So
I have a voice. Scriptwriter, Nusret, Mediath, the Churchill Lad, and Planet Legend are all entered at Doncaster as well. 6 of them.
So who knows what's actually going to turn up? I mean, what will probably happen is we'll see Scriptwriter at one track, and we'll probably see Nusret at the other. Yeah, I'm sure they'll probably try and avoid each other if they can.
Okay, Nusret, which is an Ante-Post fancy of Alex's.
Yep.
Rain Man's back. We've got to go to the Rain Man.
Okay. Well, I too like Nusret. So, and I echo exactly what Alex has said. But my concern and my worry could be that he goes to Doncaster as well. So I've got 2 backups. So if Nusret does,
there's only 3 in it.
Does go Doncaster. It was one that Johnny picked out last time, and it's called Peris's Way. It was second behind Scriptwriter on the 12th. Was beaten about 2.25 lengths. Peris's Way has then come out and won at Leicester since in a Class 4. But what interested me is, even though it was 2.25 lengths, it's not much. Peris's Way has now got £3 on Scriptwriter, so that it might just give him a slight edge. So that was my thinking alongside that. But there's another one. It's 40-1 in the same race. Milton Harris horse. It's called Cabrakan. Now, bear with me. I've read a bit here. So it was being on hurdle debut by James Williams' horse called Romancero Ledun. It's carrying a feather that day, 10-7, and Peter Summers was the claimer, so took another £7 off. After that, Cabraca then won two Class 2 races at Newcastle. In that race, Tessie Lad was third, then had won a flat race at Wolverhampton the previous race. And then there's two horses. Freddie Robinson was fourth, and Superstars was fifth. They then faced each other again in a Class 2 at Musselburgh. And Freddie Robinson has come out and won convincingly, beating Superstars by 8 lengths. So there is some back form or form related to that Cabraca. It just surprised me it was that big of a price, 40-1. So it could be an outsider, especially if Scriptwriter does go the other way. But yeah, just to keep an eye on that one.
A little spot. It was just
Yeah.
a little spot. I like that.
I just couldn't believe it. The price.
You know,
Class 2 winner as well.
you know, my 50p's are itching here, Ian.
Yeah.
40-1, mate. 40-1.
Yeah.
So Cabracan at 40-1 and Perseus Way, which was one of John's picks last time.
Yeah.
So John, on that note.
And he likes Nusret as well.
And Nusret. So if Nusret goes to Cheltenham, I fancy him. If he doesn't, I'll go Perseus Way.
Okay. John.
Yeah, well, the lads have pretty much said everything, really. And it's Perseus Way here, not Precious Way.
Yeah, I tried to ignore me, but yeah.
Perseus Way, yeah. I'm just going to keep it simple and go Perseus Way. I mean, I've picked him for the Ante-Post video. He ran well last time. Hopefully he's got a bit of improvement in him. If one of the other two turn up, then, so be it. But I've got a feeling that maybe Nusret might turn up here and Scriptwriter go to Doncaster. I don't know why. I mean, Nusret probably go with the course, try and get some course form. Well, Scriptwriter's already got it, so maybe he'll be the one to back down and go to Doncaster perhaps. But I do like Nusret as well, to be fair. It was very impressive first time, but I've got to stick to Perseus Way because, I've put him in the Ante-Post and I can't desert him already.
Love it. Okay, so yeah, there's a lot of uncertainty as to where horses go, but we're looking Nusret, Perseus Way, and a little hidden diamond for Ian, Cabracan, 40-1. Thank you, chaps. Moving swiftly along, we're going to skip the 12:40 for now and go to the 1:15, which is a Class 2 handicap chase over 2 miles and half a furlong. Editor De Gite at the top of the weights. Anybody want to kick us off?
Go on, I'll get out of the way.
Come on, John. Come on, Johnny. It's going to be good.
To quote Baldrick, this is more trappy than a great big trappy thing, isn't it? I mean, crikey Moses, looking through, there's some right old rogues in this race, isn't there again? But I'm going to go for one that I don't normally like, to be fair, and that's Third Time Lucky. He's dropped £5 below his last winning mark now. And on a going day, he should be too good for these, really. But they've got to get the tactics right. I think last time he was held up and it just didn't suit him at all. But if they let him bowl along up front and just get jumping and get them all off the bridle, I think he's got a really good chance. And I think 8-1's a decent each way bet, to be fair. I'm not a massive fan. I mean, Matty's the Third Time Lucky fan, isn't he? But I looked through a few times and he was the one that just stuck out for me in this.
Third Time Lucky.
Yeah.
Like it.
Go with him.
Alex.
I'm going to stick with a horse that I've put up a few times. I put him up for the festival. He didn't quite win. I put him up in October. He hasn't won. But I'm gonna keep the faith, and that's with Editor De Gite. He ran in October and November meeting last year and won in both. But won very impressively, running from the front, really aggressive tactics. Sort of bowl along up in front, have a little breather coming down the hill, and then pick up again, going back up the hill to the finishing line. He's run in the Grand Annual at Cheltenham in the festival. He ran really well, but I mean, the ground just didn't suit him. He finished fourth, which I think was a good effort, really, but on that ground, he had no chance. And then he ran in October, and they tried some more patient tactics than they normally would with him. Sat sort of slightly off the pace, and to me, he wants to be bold enough in front and attacking every fence, and then seeing if he can sort of continue it to the line. He was a bit too far back. He had his usual little breather coming down the hill, and then he picked up. And I mean, I thought he was well at the race. He ended up finishing third, I think. So he passed quite a lot of horses. I think if they can get him a bit further, well, a bit closer to the pace, probably leading for me. And yeah, I think he's a good bet. I mean, he is favourite, but I think I'll stick with him.
And a handy £3 taken off by Niall Houlihan. Pack of bacon off there.
I think he's the best of these, and I think he should be based on the ratings. But I think he's still got some room on his mark, especially when you think he finished fourth in a festival handicap on ground that didn't suit.
Nice. Thank you, Alex. Mr. Rayner.
Right, so I'm going for another outsider, and it's excuse my pronunciation again. It's called Prince Escalus. Currently, is about 10-1. You can get best price William Hill. So I'd suggest maybe to go each way. I think that so a lot of them are doing 3 places anyway. So last season, mainly ran in Class 3 handicap races. Never out the top 3. Had 2 wins at Hereford, a couple of places at Warwick and Wetherby, mainly over 2 miles. Then he had a race in the summer, a Class 2 at Newton Abbot, and was 5th. There was a couple of horses in front that could frank some form. One of them was Sebastopol, who was 4th, and has gone on to win 2 Class 1 races, and the last being at Newbury. I believe he beat Stage Star, and Stage Star was odds on that day. And Mercy and Prince was also 2nd that day. It's gone on, went to France and won at Clairefontaine. Was 2nd at Dieppe behind a horse called Virgo Celestine, who again has come out and won since. Mercy and Prince was beaten a couple of times at Newton Abbot, but won last time out at Kempton in a Class 3, beating Gautreau Joe for Fergal O'Brien, who again has come out and won since, and also turned the form around with a horse called Romanard, who was 3rd. So that was my thinking behind that Prince Escalus. To say a couple of names have gone on to win some quite good class races. So Prince Escalus 10-1 for me, for the John Joes.
Who are informed. They've had a good day today, haven't they?
Yeah, he won 3 today. Young John Joe.
Thank you, chap. So 3 different picks there. Prince Escalus for Ian, 3rd time lucky for John, and Editor de Gite for Mr. Galpin. Thank you, chaps. Moving swiftly along to the 150, which is the Gold Cup Handicap Chase, 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs. We're going to have to come to you first here, Ian. It's your turn.
Okay. Right, these boys are going to laugh, but it's a Henderson horse.
Never.
Never. Fantastic Lady for Hendo and Nico. So didn't have a great start last season. Was last at Wincanton in December 21, but then went on to win a Class 4 at Warwick, Class 3 at Bangor, both over 2 mile 4. In February, was behind Pic Dorhey and Miller's Bank in the Grade 2 Novice Chase in Kempton. And Pic Dorhey has come out and won, I think, 4 in a row, I believe, since then. Miller's Bank has gone on to win a Class 1 Grade 1 at Aintree, was 5th at Punchestown behind Capodanno. I think he unseated at Aintree in October. Was 2nd behind a horse called Beauport at the end of October, and then run into Pic Dorhey again at Huntington fairly recently. And then to go back to Fantastic Lady, last time out won a free mile mare's chase at Huntington on the 10th of November, beating Zambarella by 4 3/4 lengths. And Zambarella again has come out and won since. Won over 2 mile 4 in a Class 1 race, I believe, at Carlisle on the 27th. So again, that was my thinking, some form and back form coming into that race. He's 11 stone 4 as well. For Nico, so I think it's quite a nice rate, considering some of our Editor G is 12 stone, and Il Ridotto, I'm still not quite sure about, but that was my thinking. So Fantastic Lady for Henderson and Nico.
Have you been reading form all day?
Yeah.
It's about 5 o'clock.
He's been off sick, hasn't he?
I've had to catch up. I was like,
Fantastic analysis, I must say.
yeah.
Love it, Ian. Love it. Fantastic lady. Fantastic analysis. Okay. John, follow that.
Well, I can't, can I? Let's face it. Well, again, this is another rogues gallery, isn't it? I mean, it's just full of horses who hate winning. If you look down the list, you got Il Ridotto, Ferru Bamboo, Simply the Bets, Coconut Splash, the biggest one of all. They just hate winning, don't they? They hardly ever win, a lot of them. So what I'm going to do is pick a horse that doesn't like winning either. So Alex knows what I'm going to pick, and I put him up last time, and I'm sticking with him. I'm going to stick with him till he wins, and he's going to be every race, every time he's up, he's in. So that's Dayram the Carjack, the old favourite again.
Car crash.
They joined the car crash.
Stupid name, stupid horse, but yeah, I put him up last time, and he actually got a place last time. I think they were paying 5 places, and he scraped 5th, so at a big price. He's just got to win one of these races soon, hasn't he? So he's got to be delivered late as usual. Hopefully he'll jump okay. And I think he's about 12 to 1. So again, he's a bit of an each way squeak. But I mean, you can stick a pin in this one. Let's face it, they're all serial losers, really, aren't they, between them? But yeah, it's not a great race, is it? But it'll be a fun one, I'm sure.
Dayram the Carjack for old Queenie.
Yeah,
Queenie.
Good old Queenie.
Thank you, Jonathan. Alex, hit us with it.
So I'm going to continue my streak of tipping some horses that I've fancied before, and I'm going to go with Stolen Silver. I fancied him for the festival. Great. Once again, I mean, his form ties in with Ante-Post for last year, but same story really. The ground went against him, and he also plugged on and finished 4th in ground that didn't suit. He then came back to Cheltenham in the April meeting and won really impressively, won a race really comfortably, beating Simply the Bets. He then ran in November and he was favourite for the Paddy Power Gold Cup before he unseated. I mean, to me, that's one of those things that just happens. And the fact that he was favourite for that race, he's now a bigger price for this race. Quite happy to get stuck in. He'll like the ground. He likes a good firmer surface. I think he is still sort of improving. I think he's still ahead of his mark. So, like Johnny said, a lot of these horses just don't like getting their head in front of winning. And I don't think that's the case with him. I just think he's just not had the chance to really. But yeah, I'm going to stick with Stolen Silver.
Stolen Silver for Alex. Lovely. Nobody's fancying Simply the Bets.
I do have like a slight each way fancy as well.
Oh.
One about 20 to 1.
This could go on. Please tell me.
A horse called Fern Hill.
I looked at that.
Looks like he's a bit of a fast improver. Won a class 3 handicap last time out. He beat Arizona Cardinal, who'd won a couple of races before that, and he also beat that pig that someone likes called Bear Gills.
Oh yeah.
He just looked to me like he's just potentially, I don't know, quite far ahead. But I mean, it is quite a big step up in terms of the quality he's racing against. So keep that in mind. Could sneak in for a place if you can find someone that's going to offer you 4 or 5 places.
Especially against horses that never win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all want to be 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, and I like Jack Quinn.
To be fair,
second, 5th, second, 1st. It's quite good.
Yeah. 7th, 3rd, 1st, pulled up, 2nd, 2nd, 5th, 2nd, 2nd, 1st.
He's a consistent well. I think he's on the up.
I quite like that Arizona Cardinal.
7-year-old as well.
Just one to keep in mind. Little bonus selection.
There you go.
Bonus selection. Alex, we love a little bonus selection.
We do.
I won't do it in and put 3 up in a race, but I'll put 2.
I was hoping you were going to go Storm Control, I got to be honest. But
oh, no. Not for me.
There we go.
Is that your tip, is it, OJ?
No. Don't do things like that. You know that. Right. Thank you, chaps. So moving on to the 225 international hurdle, 2 miles, 1 furlong. Unibet international hurdle over 2 miles and 1 furlong. Nappers Hill, Zafanian. First Street, I like to move it, and of course, Epatante. Been over.
This won't
So,
take long.
Alex, we'll have to come to you first here, then, won't we?
To me or Ian?
Well,
Well,
me and
you can
Alex
come
are
to
probably
it.
got the same horse anyway, so it don't really
Yeah,
matter.
Ian, I'm going first. I'm stealing your pie. I'm going to go with Epatante, one of Henderson's, steal Ian's thunder. I'll keep it simple. I think she's the best horse in the race, and she's carrying the least weight. She's a champion hurdle winner. She was second in the champion obviously this year. She then won Grade 1 at Aintree. She was second for Constitution
Mayor's
Hill.
hurdle winner in March.
Yeah, she'll be the Mayor's hurdle winner in March. I mean, I think her price is a bit of a joke, really. Like, just get stuck in.
Get stuck in.
I thought she was going to be 1 to 2, 1 to 3, something like that. Well, I saw some 6 to 4 and thought, very nice.
Yeah, I got to admit, I thought it was had to be odds on, but there we go. Ian, are you getting stuck in?
Oh yeah, sorry about my dog barking.
But,
I echo what Alex just said. So I won't go through any back form of Epatante. I've written it anyway, but I just said anything that comes behind the second, like a monster like Constitution Hill, is form in my book, even though it was 12 lengths. And I literally just wrote a little note here. I think the threat will be Nappers Hill, won his last 4, and in brackets I've put, don't forget, John Bond form. So that's it. So Epatante for me, Nappers Hill probably second.
nice and simple. Love it.
Yeah.
Mr. Evans.
Yeah, simple hat trick there. You know, highest rating, least weight, lump on.
Lump on.
Lump on.
Lump on and lump on for Cheltenham Festival. Mayor's hurdle. While you're at
Already on. 14.
Yeah.
14's Wayne. 14's, you hear me?
14
Back
to
for the
Wayne.
Mares straight after the Aintree win. So that was
What price was that, John?
14.
14. Fanny better.
Yeah. Max each way points.
Yeah, not bad for a Fanny Bettor.
yeah.
Wayne be fuming.
We shouldn't encourage. Well, we should. It's all good fun. Okay. So we're skipping now to the last race on the card, which is another Mayor's hurdle, the same as on the Friday, I think, wasn't it? 2 miles, 4.5 furlongs again. And Alex, your old favourite, she's entered up here again as well. So we're not coming to you first because we know. John, come on, you can kick us away here.
Yeah, I quite like one in this actually. That's Martello Sky. She's been dropped a few pounds now to 140, which is a winning mark for her. She's got course and distance form. I don't think the 3 mile really suited her last time out, and she's now back 2.5 miles against her own sex. So I think she should do better. I think 4 to 1 is she. I think she's the one to beat, to be honest with you. She's got, winning form. She had a couple of runs this year, ran okay, but like I say, I think that 3 miles was a bit too far. So this is, I think this is right up her street. This, to be fair, so Martello Sky all the way.
Martello Sky, pretty confident pick there, like that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, over to Mr. Theatre Glory. Mr. Raider. Nick Henderson's got one in here.
Well, you say about Theatre Glory. Well, I've wrote down 2. One I think is obviously obvious, but I'll come on to one that's caught my eye. Hopefully it's about 9 to 1. I nearly feel like then I needed to he. So she's called I Spy a Diva.
You make that kind of mistake, Ian.
I know. I Spy a Diva. Kim Bailey for the on form, and Jonathan Burke is the jock. Now, he said, Jonathan, I wrote here, Jonathan Burke has had 10 wins in the past 2 weeks. He said some high profiles in Mullenbeg and Love Envoy And a horse I spoke about earlier, Freddie Robinson, that ties in with one of the other horses. She's won all 3 races this season, mainly Class 4, 2 mile 5 at Ludlow, 2 mile 3 at Taunton, and 3 mile over at Taunton again. So she'll love the good ground. I've put, yes, it is a big step up. It's a nice way to 10-4. And also, if you go by race RPR, like Racing Post, she's the highest rated at 151, which I thought was quite interesting. But I can't steer away from Fear to Glory as well.
Never.
So it's just a couple of things that I noticed on here. She was third behind LA Bell, sadly had an injury, but I loved that horse. I've lost track now. So that was in November, and it was in a Class 1. And the horse that was second in that day is called A Horse With No Name. It ended up being second behind Life Envoy at the Mayor's Novice at the festival, was 50-1. And then A Horse With No Name was then gone on to win 2 flat races with Ryan Moore at Newbury and York. So that ties in a little bit. Fear to Glory has won her next 3 races at Warwick, Kelso, and then a Class 1 at Cheltenham. So she's got Cheltenham form. That was April this year. This season, I think she's had an unseat at Newbury, which isn't the best prep. But there'll be I'll maybe go Fear to Glory to win, and I Spy Diva, which is a nice each way price, about 9-10-1. I would say take that. But there'll be my 2.
Thank you, Ian. Just because you were missing last night, you don't have to get greedy and pick 2
No,
horses.
no.
We're just getting clear. We're just getting clear. No offence intended.
I Spy Diva, but I couldn't get away. I know, again, yes, it's Henderson, but I think it's quite obvious. And
no, we love it. We love it, mate.
Yeah.
We love it. We love it.
Hendo fanboy.
Yeah, so it's free.
I'm looking, trying to get Alex's eyes here. Has he got a little gem for us in here?
I know what he'll pick.
Come on, Alex.
Do.
He's not ready, is he? Because Indefatigable meets tomorrow.
I'm assuming that Indefatigable will run Friday in the last race. So I'm basing this on her not running. If she runs, I'll back her, obviously, because I love that horse. I'll back her in any race. But I'm gonna side with Nina the Terrier in this.
Yes, I knew he would.
I thought you might.
I quite fancied her for the Greatwood Hurdle. She finished 5th of 13 that day. Don't think she was particularly helped by the fact they took quite a lot of the hurdles out. I don't think that really suited her. She's never a particularly good bumper horse, so she's one of those ones that it certainly went against. As I say, she finished 5th out of 13. To me, she is probably a 2.5 miler, and she's better on better ground. And I think this is a much less competitive race than the Greatwood. I mean, look at the horses that are in there versus this. I think this is a much easier race for her to win. So the step up in trip, plus then actually adding hurdles into a hurdles race, which
Unheard of.
is a miracle if they actually do. And then also in an easier race, I think she'll run a lot better than she did. I mean, coming around the bend, I thought looked like she was traveling really well, and then a few horses came past her because she doesn't have that speed that most of the 2 mile hurdlers have. But yeah, over 2.5 miles, I think that's her trip. She'll get her ground because she likes a good firmer surface, and she likes jumping hurdles rather than running in a bumper for jumpers.
And if I like to move it, runs well, and then it Frank's Nina as well.
Well, she was 20 lengths behind, so I'm not sure.
Right,
You're not having that one, Ian.
Yeah.
If she was like 3 or 4 lengths, I'd be jumping on the bandwagon. But no,
Yeah.
There's a bit of a Frank Boff that one, isn't it? It's okay. Frank Boff, he was good, wasn't he? What a presenter he was. These two don't know who he was, do they, John?
No, they need to Google him when we get off.
Yeah. Have a look at his in suspenders and all that kind of stuff. Great, brilliant. Right, yeah, I shouldn't have been drinking. Yeah, Nina the Terrier for Alex.
Come on, Nina.
Looking at that race, it's so tight at the top, isn't it? You got Martello Sky currently 4s, Theatre Glory 3s, Nina the Terrier 5s. There's like
That
five.
Lady Adair, I think, has won every race.
Yeah, that was the other one I considered actually.
There's 10 runners, and there's like 5 of them are 6-1 or less. So it's going to be competitive going by that, isn't it?
Mm.
What put me off about Lady Adair is the layoff. It's 291 days, is it? Yeah, February was last run. It's been pulled out twice.
Feb, yeah.
It's been pulled out twice as well. That's what put me off it.
Thank you, chap. So Nina the Terrier for Alex, Martello Sky for John, Theatre Glory for Ian, with the potential for I Spy a Diva, who I'll just check in there that you were saying about Johnny Burke on. I don't watch a lot of racing TV type stuff, but I had Sky Sports Racing on the other day, and they had a bit of a feature on him. It was really good, and he spoke very well, and he's obviously, since coming back from his injury, they think a lot of him. I think they had Huey Morrison and Jamie Snowden on, and they were saying he should be a jockeys championship contender over the next couple of years. So, Johnny, we wish you well, and then we can put this out there, and then you can come on and have a chat with us. How's about that? I Spy a Diva wins, and Johnny's like, I want to be on the Cheltenham Exchange. There we go. Little plug. Could we? You never know. You never know. Right. Thank you, chaps. So, quickly skipping along, we did miss 2 races. The 12:40, there's 3 runners. Monmiral's in there. Anybody? I take it nobody wants to really.
Not really. Should
If
win that.
you put a gun to my head, I'd probably side with Kisses for Katie, but most because I don't really like Monmiral. But I've got no real interest in that race.
And the 3 o'clock, which we missed, was Albert Bartlett Novices Hurdle. It was Class 1 race, wasn't it? 3 miles. Got 6 entered. Meh.
Yeah, Johnny really likes winning this race, don't you, Johnny?
Do I?
Not Outlaw Pete.
Outlaw Peter.
Yeah.
We've all been caught. That'll be a good one to. Yeah, I think that's got a chance. To be fair, Twiston Davis.
So we'll do the usual.
Yeah.
I'll say the usual. We've never got any structure to it, so but we'll do what we did last night. So, chaps, if you were to chip me 1 horse for Saturday out of your selections, Johnny, what would yours be?
Martello Sky. I'd also stick it in a double with Epatante as well.
Nice.
Mare's double.
Mare's double. Alex?
I could go with Nusrat, but still don't know if he's going to run, so I can't really put that up. So I'll go with Editor Digit.
Editor Digit for Alex, and Rainman.
I will go with Fantastic Lady in the 150.
Ooh.
And that must have taken some getting to out of the 33 horses you've picked tonight.
I was going to say that.
Yeah.
What's your nap of the day, OJ?
My nap of the day is
Is that it?
the frost covers. Get the
frost
frost covers off there. I not got a clue, not had a look, and nobody would even want to know anyway. Not a clue.
You were 2 out of 2.
That's a good wins.
The Newbury preview. Come on.
Yeah, he smashed that.
Yeah, no, not a clue. I'm afraid, lads. I've got to admit, I'm looking forward to watching Epatante.
Yeah.
When I looked through and I was simply looking at what was running, I mean, it's like John said, it's the race where nobody wants to win, and Simply the Bets is a horse that I have followed for a few years, and occasionally have a dabble on. It's got Mr. Maxwell on there, so go on, Mr. Maxwell, do it for us.
What was that?
You can come on and talk as well. But no,
Maxi on.
nothing. I just hope it's going ahead, and I have to give an honourable mention to my old man, Mr. Will Davis, who's going to Cheltenham for the first time on Saturday, and he's absolutely, he's been, I don't know how many times I've had messages off him today. Do you think it'll be on? And I've been forwarding what Alex's weather reports and photos and everything. So yeah, let's just hope it's on. And Dad, if it's on, joy.
And OJ Senior, if you see me, feel free to buy me a Guinness.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was supposed to be going as well, but where I wasn't well, I've not bought my ticket. So instead, I may go New Year's Day.
Ooh.
I may.
I like it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't think there's much else to say. Matty hasn't sent anything through, has he? He's not.
No.
Nothing. No.
Nothing
He,
off
he
Matty.
liked third time lucky, didn't he? I think.
Yeah, he does actually like third time lucky, the same as me.
Okay. And apart from that, folks, we hope you've enjoyed. Thank you to everybody who has watched and subscribed and liked. Keep doing so, please. And have a good weekend. And we'll see you all again soon.